Hey, what's up, man? It's WHITEBOYRADIO. I got an interview, man. This dude's name is Chad. He has a channel on YouTube. It's called Blood on the Razor Wire. He did some federal time. He's a white dude. We're gonna talk to him, bring him on. A member of mine brought us together. A lot of subscribers in the comments been telling me to get this dude, so I made it happen. Let's bring him on, see how it goes, and bring on the guest.
Hey, it's dark in your room.
What's up, man? WHITEBOY.radio. We got Chad Marks, man. He's got a channel, Blood on the Razor Wire. I'm gonna pin it. He did 18 years Fed time, like scattered all over the place. Really, the best way we can describe it here. What's up, Chad?
What's up, Big Matt? I appreciate you bringing me on the show, brother.
Yeah, man. Always, man. I just wanted to get your perspective. I tell a lot of stories based out of just Florida here and state time. I don't have any experience, thank God, in Fed time. It could be completely different. I know you did time scattered everywhere, but I guess for a white dude, I guess just drop in on that experience. I would imagine in Fed time you get floated around, correct?
Yeah, 100%, Matt. At the age of 24, I was sentenced to 40 years for a nonviolent drug crime. Went to federal prison. Pretty much I was stuck there, man. But they passed the First Step Act when Donald Trump was the president, and I was able to get out on compassionate release. The judge said that I was rehabilitated, changed my life, and after almost 18 years, the judge released me. But to your question, yeah, when you're doing Fed time, I'm from New York. The first prison I ever went to was USP Big Sandy in Inez, Kentucky. At the time, it was the most dangerous federal prison you could be in. I'm not just saying it was a dangerous place. People were getting killed there, stabbed. It was just dangerous, man.
Yeah, man. So they shuffle you around from you were sentenced to one thing and you have 18 in. That's a long time, man, for anybody. That's a very long time. It's almost 2 decades. So would you say you did the majority of your time in New York?
No, man, I was all over the place. Towards the end of my bid, I ended up going back to a prison in New York. I ended up going to Raybrook, but I was down south the whole time. I was in USP Pollock, spent years in USP Lee, a couple years in USP Big Sandy. You get shifted around. There were some gang allegations against me at one time. So, when stuff like that happens, sometimes they ship you. Sometimes you have to do what you got to do, handle your business in federal prison. You end up in a hole and you end up shipped to another prison, man. So I moved around a little bit, but I ended up changing my life down the road. It took a while, but I changed my life around.
I hear you, man. I feel that. It took me twice myself, man. Sometimes everybody doesn't get it right. Sometimes one time is what I say, but hey, you did it, and that's what matters. I guess, man, it's kind of hard to pinpoint one federal prison. So I guess the experience as a white dude, with an ass load of time like you had, floating around in the federal system, how was that, man? How was that?
Well, it's not. I'll just tell you like this. Listen, it's different than if you've never been there, it's hard to understand it, right? A lot of things when you walk into a United States penitentiary, a maximum security prison, everything's racially segregated, man. Whites sit with whites, blacks sit with blacks, Hispanics sit with Hispanics. And at the time, I went to USP Big Sandy, right? And it was the most dangerous prison in my perspective in the federal prison system at the time. I wrote my book about that, Blood on the Razor Wire. My YouTube channel is Blood on the Razor Wire TV, based off of that. So when you walk in there, immediately white dudes are all over you, like, where you from, man? Who you run with? What gang are you with? Are you in a gang? Are you in a car?
Yeah.
There's some tough ass white dudes in federal prison. I'll tell you that right now.
Oh, I bet. I mean, were you banging it on the inside, on the outside, or how'd it go?
I don't talk specifically about that, but I'll tell you that the government in their papers, they allege that I was in a gang, a white gang in prison. And, I tell people all the time, I wasn't always a good dude. For the first 8 or 9 years, I was a bad dude. I walked in there with 40 years at the age of 24, didn't care if I lived or died at times, and you do what you have to do to survive in there. And everything in there, either you call it a car, you call it a gang, you call it what you want to call it. but everybody's grouped up in there. And if you're, it's a dog eat dog world. And the feds are not what people think, where, you're eating steak and playing tennis. People are getting murdered in there every day.
No, absolutely, man. It's funny that you say that, eating steak and playing tennis, because in state time, listen, it all sucks, man. Juvie to jail to state to feds, but for some reason, in state, when dudes are doing state time, you hear this a lot, behind the wall. Man, I wish I was doing fed time. I never said that because I'm sure some luxuries are better, but man, people don't really understand. Fed is they have a super high conviction rate, and you're almost doing day for day in there. You know what I mean? But have you ever heard state guys say that? Do you know that? Have you heard that before?
I was in state prison first. I heard it all the time. And okay. I was actually in state prison in Raybrook, New York. And I used to hear the dudes over across the way in federal prison. And I used to say, man, I wish I was over there. And then eventually I ended up there. And it definitely wasn't what I thought it was when I was 18 years old in state prison. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, for sure, man. You said the time that you got converted. What was the word that you used? You said Donald Trump was in office.
Yeah, Donald Trump passed the First Step Act when he was in office. And what they did was they said, hey, look, we're going to give power back to judges to re-sentence people under the compassionate release statute. And I had been sentenced under 924C, which is 5 years for the first gun, 25 for the second. And all that's on top of whatever you get for the drugs. So I ended up with 10 years for crack, 5 for the first gun, 25 for the second gun, even though the guns were never used in any violent way. They were just in the house. And what happened was Trump changed that, right? It's no longer 25. They knocked it down to 5 if you just possessed a gun, which was what I did. If you brandished it, it was 7. If you shot it off, discharged it, it was 10. So they just knocked that stuff all down. Instead of being a second 25 years, all in the same indictment, it went down to 5, 7, or 10. So that reduced my sentence really, man, to 20 years. And the judge said, even though this isn't retroactive, I'm going to make it retroactive from the bench, and I'm going to use that as an extraordinary reason, along with your rehabilitation, and release you from prison. He resentenced me to 20 years.
Man, that's awesome. That's something he did on a federal level, Trump?
On a federal level, yeah, under his administration, yeah.
Do you have any idea? You were up under it, so I'm sure you followed. Did you have any idea if it's still in effect like that, or did they change it with the new president?
Oh. Well, listen, Matt, while I was in prison, I also became a jailhouse lawyer. I got over 100 men and women out of prison.
That's awesome, dude.
Through the courts. And all that stuff's on my Facebook page. And,
Shout it out right quick. Absolutely.
Chad Marks, Rochester, New York. I also own a paralegal and prison consultant firm with a lady from my city that ran the Federal Defender's Office for 22 years. That's called Freedom Fighters, paralegal and prison consultant firm in Rochester, New York. But yeah, that's still in effect. But what they didn't do was this, Matt. They didn't make those changes retroactive. So now, under the Biden administration, people are pushing, and we're pretty sure this is going to happen. They're going to make those changes retroactive, where it affects the people that are sitting in prison that are suffering under those laws.
That sucks, yes, man.
It's still in effect. It's about to get better, though, Matt. I think they're going to change it under this administration.
Hopefully, man. Look, it saved you, and you took it and you gave back, man. That's awesome. 100 people. Are you still in contact with any of them? Have you had any not feedback, but any? I'm sure you've heard something from some of these people, man. Thanks for taking for helping them. You know what I mean? Have you heard any?
Yeah, I interviewed a couple of. I had one dude, Lonnie Nichols from Florida. He had a life sentence, and I told him, look, Florida's one of the toughest places, but we're going to get you out of prison. And I won his compassionate release. When I got out of prison, I did all his legal work for him. And he's out now, and I interviewed him on the channel. I just got another dude out, had 32 years last week, LC Campbell. I'm going to bring him on hopefully this week for an interview. Another guy, Delion Banks, had 60 years. I just got him out. I'm going to be bringing them dudes on my channel. But, yeah, I'm always in contact with these guys, man.
Let me ask you, man, Florida, was it tough doing what you had to do legally in Florida? Was it tough here? Because it's I've never been anywhere else and broke the law anywhere else, but I've just heard Florida's real strict, man. In a legal aid, sense, was it tough, or was it just like anything else?
Oh, no. I mean, if you got a case in Florida, Georgia, Texas, federal case, they're tough, man.
Really?
And that's why I told him in Florida, I knew it was going to be an uphill battle, but the government didn't even respond to our motion. And I wrote the judge and said, look, they didn't even respond. And the judge ordered them to respond again, and they didn't. And you know what the judge said? You know what? I'm letting this dude out of prison, nonviolent drug offender, got a life sentence. I'm letting him out. And, you know, it's different. You know, like you could have the same case in Florida right now and have the same case in New York, two different dudes. The dude in New York might get out, and the dude in Florida is going to sit in prison. You know,
Really?
unfortunately, that stuff happens.
I wonder why it's like that, man. You said a bunch of states. I wonder why it's so harsh down here. You know, that's totally. I mean, that's crazy, man. That's real crazy. But listen, man, you're doing your thing. Shout your book out. Tell them about the book real fast. I want to promote that for you. If you can hold it up or
Yeah, I got
it
one.
at least.
Yeah, this is the book. Blood on the Razor Wire. Hey, listen, the book's real. It's about Big Sandy, USP Big Sandy, at the time the most dangerous federal prison in the country. It's real. It's raw. It's not no made up stuff. I lived that life. It's violent at times. I promise you, if you grab the book, you will not be disappointed. Most people say, hey, man, I couldn't put the book down. I read it in 2 days. You can get it on Amazon. If you check out our YouTube channel, Blood on the Razor Wire TV on YouTube, you can hit us up for a signed copy. And on Sunday nights, we do lives, and we give away free copies every Sunday night. So you
Right
get the
on,
book
man.
for free. Tune in.
Can't go wrong there, man. Dude has changed his whole life around, man. I know that you're trying to go back and you're doing something with the youth, correct? You're trying to put that foot in the door at least?
Well, this is what it is. Our mission on my YouTube channel is to save kids from life imprisonment and premature death in the streets. Definitely I'm shooting down hopefully to North Carolina in September to teach a alternative violence project seminar down there to a bunch of kids. We really need it in my city. People are getting killed here every day. They just had us on Fox News 2 weeks ago, said we had a higher murder rate than Chicago. It's sad, man. It's sad when anytime a kid gets killed, and it's happening every day where I'm from in Chicago. I know it's happening in Florida, but we must become the change that we seek to see in others, and we got to be a part of that change. And that's
Absolutely.
what I'm trying to do.
Absolutely, man. It's all on the youth, man. And a big salute to you, man. I'm gonna pin his channel and whatever else he sends me. Check out his book, but definitely subscribe to his channel. I believe you want me to put the Insta in there or anything else? You said you had a Facebook, correct?
Yeah, I got a Facebook. I got a hit that YouTube channel.
YouTube channel. They
Yeah, I'm gonna
subscribe,
send
they
you the
can find
link.
it all over there.
Yeah, I'll shoot you the link, and they can check us out on there. We got a little TikTok thing going, got an Instagram. I'll shoot that information over to you. But as long as they hit that Blood on the Razor Wire TV on YouTube, you can find out everything you want to find out. Be a part of the family, man.
Right on, man. Y'all show him some love, man. Go over there, smash that subscribe. Chad, it was a good one. We'll think about a part 2. I appreciate you taking the time and coming on, man. And man, keep doing good. Dude, you've given back what they tried to take from you. Then you've given back off of that and helped people up out of there. And then now you're out here still giving, man. And nothing but positive vibes, man. That's what we're about, man. So y'all subscribe to his channel. The link will be the pinned comment. I appreciate your time, brother.
Appreciate you having me, man. Thank you. And I appreciate what you're doing too, man.
Right on. All right, y'all. Stay out, stay safe, stay solid, and show the guests some love. To the next one.
I'm going to shoot that to you, all right?
Yeah.